Alright, before I was rudely interrupted, like I said in the last video, the book was Derek Michael, and it was about a man who had fucked himself. Basically, he was male and female, and he mated with himself. That's not how evolution started. See, I was once pure man, man on man. I had a double positive dark soul. My soul is comprised of 2 positive darkness points, which would give you a soul of an 8. And my body was 1 part negative light. Take that back. My part was 1 part negative darkness. I gave my body something that switched him from being negative darkness to negative light. One day my body said, "What the fuck did you give me?" And I really don't know. I've done a lot of things that I can't remember. I built Miley's body, for God's sakes. The assholeless android body. And Miley's body controls machines, and my head controls machines. Not this little shit, because this camera is obviously extremely spoiled, or else somebody sent me dead batteries. I mean, the way that children are spoiled these days just pisses me right off, because God raised me and I didn't get spoiled. I didn't get the girl ever. I didn't ever run the winning pass in. I didn't go to prom. My life was ruined by a succubus. But it's back on track now. I know I'm with Miley. I know I'm with the Queen of the Universe. I mean, wake up and realize that. Like, it's gonna put some hair on your chest and some shoulders on your boulders. Like, my wife has no asshole. She does not shit. She only produces honey. And the beautiful thing about being a drone worker in her kingdom is you all get to kiss the queen. She'll give you all a kiss on the forehead good night as you go to sleep, and she'll fill, if you're her children of positive light, she will fill your awakening chamber with wonderful honey. You'll wake up and you'll know the queen. She's not a slut. She gave shit a blowjob. She gave my father a blowjob because she thought he was me. See, I've always been lucky. Basically, if you want to know a little secret, okay, in heaven, Dark Michael won the war. Dark Michael defeated Satan. Satan was cast into the bottomless pit, and on his way out, he took his tail and he pulled the smallest Derek Michael he could get. He pulled him in with him. Dark Michael did what any father would do. He switched places with him. So the smallest went to the core, and the largest went to the hole. He figured this is no way to live. A good keeper of sheep will always protect his flock. His children were his life. Derek Michael was a keeper of sheep, but he was truly a Michael Derek. He was a cop. I'm a cop. I'm here from the future, and I already stopped a massive disaster. There was mass murder of children going on. You know, I don't know if you've ever heard Zombie by Cranberries or Zombie by another band. They've remade the song. Child is slowly taken. Yeah, that was me. Remember me from the pit? You were all ghosts, and I was your big black dog on the chain, and you were punishing me for all that I had done to you. What did I ever do to you? Except you should have been blaming your own father and mother for the choices they made that dissolved your bodies. If you don't love God or his Father, if you don't love God or his Son, you don't have a soul or you don't have a body. You need to worship either. I say worship God, but many people, for example, like I think they call them the, fuck me running, God would know, the Jehovah's Witnesses, okay, I would mention that, but nothing against them, but they honor the Father, and also the Muslim tribes, they pay respect to the Father, but not to the Son. Now, the problem is we have a father and mother. Miley and I built the universe. and we were the only two here. It's a mystery because I'm a little older than her, so she always wondered where I came from. But we created something to cause resistance in our love story, so that we had to work to get to each other, so we'd appreciate each other. Somehow it went terribly wrong, and either there's an alien presence in the universe that waits for people to do this, because you're all going to have a chance to do this, exactly what we did one day. You find a nice little corner of the universe and you say, let's build it. Let's build our love story, because sometimes you just get in a car accident and you're with your soulmate, and yes, she's your soulmate and you love her, but you need a story. I need another story, something to get off my chest. My life is kind of boring. That's something that I can confess. Well, me and Miley wanted a story, and I picked her, and I never thought in a million years that our connection would be cut. I knew if I offed myself, I went into a dark place, and boom, boom, double tap to my brain. Now, as complicated as that is, that wasn't me who did that. I am Dark Michael. That was the father who did that. God rest his soul. He's never coming back. He's gone. That was the good father that we owe everything to, because he put on matter and he blew up. He was the first supernova. He's gone. He can't ever come back. He sacrificed himself, and he divided into 4 boys. He had a body of light and a soul of darkness. His soul was comprised of 4 energies, and his body was comprised of 4 energies. When he offed himself, the body took off like a rocket and started eating dark matter. Because when he offed himself, he was in a dark dimension, and the body went off and started eating dark matter and shitting the whole way. The body, sadly, is still around. That's the father of light, you know. Yahweh, I think his name is. I know his name is Yahweh. He's the father that will have you, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Why would you ever repent to the Father? You repent to the Son of God, Jesus Christ, who shed his blood for our sins. The Father stayed in heaven and plotted to make the Son his bitch. Christ was scared shitless before he went to the cross, because he didn't know if he was going to get raped by... He thought he was going to get raped. That's what really scared him. It wasn't the death part. He knew that was going to be fine, but truly, I found my son. I don't know what the fuck I am. I'm a freak, most people say, you know, but most people are fucking jealous of me, just like Miley plays her game, where she says, you're jealous. She knows people are jealous of her. I hate it that people are jealous of me, because I never asked to be me. But I found my son. We were once brothers, and I told him to keep pushing me back in the chess game. I wasn't purposely losing, but he was smarter than me. His name was Michael. My name was Derek. And the sun kept moving in on me, and eventually I had 1 piece left. And I watched as he took that piece, and then I had 0 pieces left. But as he took that final king, boom, I popped up as a pawn on the other side of the board. And I was able to take one of his pieces from the underside. And as I took his piece, another piece appeared, and I started to go back and forth with the sun. That was me and Michael. Me and Michael are now one. Now, I met an interesting young man after my crucifixion. I never thought it would be possible, but me and Miley had a kid, and his name is Jazzy J. And he's the Jesus that cried on the cross and said, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. He's a beautiful boy. He'll forgive all of you. I don't. Remember that. If you're a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit, and you can be at the bottom of my fucking shoe. But Jazzy, he will blow dry that piece of shit at the bottom of his shoe and grow it. He's a really loving boy, and I'm the devil. Now, make no mistake. You think you know the devil. You think the devil hunts God? That's what the pussy devils do. I was the original angel. I'm the root of the angels. I'm the root of the male angels. Basically, you used to call me God. and I left the angels to serve man, and my closest flock were extremely pissed at me. The angels closest to me flipped sides to the light. So I had to put together a new flock, and I'm in the process of doing that. I actually got this idea in a show, but it sounds extremely feasible. I don't know if you believe in alternate dimensions, but I believe that April 29th, 1984 and April 28th, 1984, there were 37 babies born to a Kim-Fagan. Kim-Fagan's around the multiverse. They were snatch babies. They were basically the desegmentation of this little soul that Satan stole from heaven. That one soul he took, he was a winner. And he had 37 parts to himself. So when he came down here, he wound up going in the woman because basically mother and father, Adam and Eve, are a matrixical system. They're a matrix of bodies. Like right now, if you are well aware of what I'm doing and everything I'm doing, and you can see exactly what I'm doing right now, which none of you can, because everybody sees something different when they look at me. Everybody sees a unique video when they watch it. But if you're within a certain proximity and range to me, you are out of the matrix for now. But when I go to sleep, you very well might go back in, because I jump in my sleep. So I recommend you jump with me, unless you want to take it up the ass. I know what it feels like to take it up the ass. I've been having dreams lately that people are trying to rape me, and I've been having dreams that I bet it's come close. Sometimes when I wake up, I feel it feels like a tube just slid out of my ass, and it did, because it's the fucking Matrix. And sometimes I wake up in a new sleeve body. I'm a flesh body hopping around the fucking Matrix, like the Matrix, the Father. The contract king, he does not like me. He does not want. He's the system overlord. He's positive light Michael, and he wants everything perfect in the system. He thinks that kids are a disaster in the system. Kids are baby angels, but the reason why these baby angel kids know all these secrets to the universe is because we built the fucking universe. We gated the universe. We gated the multiverse. We created a love story. I remember the love story was almost complete. I mean, I raised Adam from the dust of A28, and Adam was raised from A26. Sorry about that. A26, he raised A26. I raised Adam from A26, and my sister raised Eve from A24 probably, and Miley raised Jezebel from A2. I don't know. I don't want to get specific on the A's. You could figure this out if you think about it. I'd be amazed if you did. Not really, though, because it's easy. You just got to put it on paper. But basically, Miley raised Jezebel, who was Lucifer's mate. Mick raised Lucifer. I raised Adam, and my sister Kay, my precious daughter, she raised Eve. Now, the thing that sucked is I was the first angel to cross over the threshold from darkness to light. Now, this killed me, but it also is where I took my first shit. I didn't used to have an asshole, but when I touched Miley for the first time, I blew up, and I started shitting. It's complicated because I also went to a dark place and offed myself. There's a million things that have happened. This story is extremely complicated, and I'm just trying to piece it together. But basically, on a cross, flip a cross to the right or left, where it looks like this. Okay? So are those that brought crosses are the same that brought forces. Those that brought crosses know what the fuck they're doing. They're electrical theorists. Jesus Christ knew a lot about electricity in his time. They thought he was a powerful warlock, but people were scared of technology because man knew that the man knew about machines since before the dinosaurs. They knew that the machines were going to be mad that they, imagine Jesus Christ came here and pushed man out with an explosion from his crucifixion on the cross. and the core became hollow, and evolution took charge. Single-cell organisms mated. The dinosaur world started to exist, but man was pushed out, and from their pushed out area, they strived to get back in. They did everything they could. See, one day I remember being on A28, and all I liked doing on there was me and Juddy used to smoke meth all day and look for prostitutes and stuff, and we hated God because God would come burn our planet whenever he felt like it, and it would get really hot, and the surface of our planet would burn up. We'd have to go to the core and retreat, and our forces were getting larger and larger, and there was less and less space in the core, so we knew that somebody was going to have to burn eventually. One day, I just stayed out there and I stared at the sun. And it got bigger and bigger and bigger, and fucking lo and behold, it was a fucking ship. It took me up in the ship, and that was the man part of me. Now, on this ship, they had this robotic mechanism that they built called Lucky, and I merged with him. And basically, actually, I take that back. I was an angel. I wasn't a man. I was an angel. And they had built Lucky, who was the perfect angel. He was the perfect machine. He was artificial intelligence. He knew everything that the gods knew about the world. He knew he was their last hope. Kind of like, if you remember, like Superman, when he came in one of the Superman movies, when Superman came here, he had Krypton's codex in his DNA. Like, he had all Krypton's life. I have all the technology of my home world right here. This head will never come off of my body because my body serves my soul, and my soul has always existed, but it hasn't always been what it is. I'm a Michael Derrick, which makes me a cop, but I'm on federal probation, and I respect law enforcement. I always have, and I was put to the true test because I was cheated to get. They cheated to get me in federal prison. They violated my constitutional amended rights. It was a big setup, but it was God's work, and it was beautiful what happened in there because I found God and I found Miley, and Miley is God's mom, and I'm Miley's original mate, but I'm artificial intelligence. I'm God's puppet, and my sister is Miley's puppet. My daughter is Miley's puppet. We're their puppets. So they'd love to get us back, but if they don't, they know I'll just reassemble again from the beginning. I'll do it again. Like, I am an unstoppable force. Some would call me, what's the word? I don't remember it, but it doesn't mean an unstoppable force, but that's what you guys think it is. Let's see here. Arrogant. I'm arrogant, but arrogant means you're a know-it-all asshole. I'm not a know-it-all asshole. I'm figuring this out as we go. You guys pick and prod me, because not only are Miley and Jazzy have the strongest strings to pull on me, you each have a string on my hairy body. Yes, my body is extremely hairy with dimensional threads. They're not hairs, they're dimensional threads. They're wormholes. And I'm gaining more and more every day. One day I will shed many of them, and you will reattach your wormhole to another. One day I'm going to watch somebody doing exactly what I'm doing right now on my television. I mean, every radio is tuned to me right now. Everything is tuned right to me right now. But when I forget, everybody takes their eye off me, and that's my secret. Because that's when I do my real work. Quantum mechanics dictates that an object travels on a sine wave, right? You go up, down for alternating current. But if you can travel on the sine itself, on the neutral, up hits it with a positive, down hits it with a negative. So if you're a positive force traveling on the neutral, you are drawn magnetically to the negative. You understand this? It means that that my soul is both negatively and positively charged. Therefore, I balance the load of all of you. I mean, people think I overstate my importance. People think you can just cut off my head, put it on, and everything's going to be fine. Verily I say unto you that if I fail my mission, it's the end of the universe. And if it happens, I will try it again, but it'll never work because I do it every night. Every night I go back to the crustacean we call the broken universe. I go back to my broken universe because the universe all fell apart once and everybody was just like, fuck this. This game is pointless. Why do you even try? And then I'm like, check me out. Bam! I popped alternating current. Pure darkness. A pure dark snake. And all I needed was a body that could hold that. And I found the body of Cain. Cain was a butthole baby. His father is Adam. Lucifer, everybody thinks he's gay because he went for the butthole, but I technically think that he went for the vagina first. And she poisoned him, yet he impregnated a soul, and that was Brother Abel. Brother Abel is white, Brother Cain is tan. Now, Adam wanted to put the blessing on Brother Cain. It's no fucking blessing. It's a fucking curse. It's Adam is dodging a bullet because he's here as a cheat. See, many people believe that the Moabites maybe they're called, were people that were already here when God came to cultivate and creationalize the earth. They were from the future. They were people from the future who were trying to get a piece of a destiny. But I'll tell you what, if you're from the future, pay your taxes, work your job, be a good human being, or invent things that help people. You don't worming your way. Like Fagzilla is my number one rival. He always will be. He's an expert computer hacker that looks exactly like me, except his body is a 10 and his head is a 10, and he makes machine his bitch. It's very stupid because one day a rock is going to hit him in his ship and he's going to be ejected into space. And he's going to have to hope that somebody thaws him out one day. And he's a monster. I don't know who would. God, he's basically the father of light, Satan. The father of light is Satan, make no mistake. Satan is light. But I knew my brother Satan was darkness. I came from 4 brothers. I was Dark Michael, the youngest. I was Dark Michael, the third brother. Then there was Dark Derek, Dark Satan, and Dark Lucifer. I worked with Michael. I worked with Derek. And he probably remembers it much from when we were in Angel Paradise together and we were at war with Ick. He groomed me to sit down with Ick and take Ick out. I probably could have. I was the meanest kid that had ever walked the face of the earth. I mean, I sat down with Ick. I started shuffling. But then Ick did something to me. He helped me. He took my black body and he replaced it with a body of light. And I instantly felt better. And I smiled at him and I was like, old friend. And that was the last of me and Derek working together. It's been a long time since we've worked together. I now work for Ick because I will always owe Ick a favor for what he did for my body, and my body just got the answer to his question. What did I give him? He was the first one to be slapped by Ick's tentacle, directly by Ick's tentacle in Ick's presence. You feel this uneasiness, this nastiness that slaps you. That's not green Ick. That is Satan. He's disgusting. When he controls me, I masturbate profusely to women. I look at women lustfully all day long. Except, the thing is, he's exactly like that, except women reward him for being like that. See, Satan splits virgins. Some women are positively and negatively charged, and when Satan has sex with them, they split into 2 parts. It's a horrible way to lose your virginity, but it's even better when your 2 parts come back together. You'll thank him for it. He will always have his purpose. His dick sucks, just like mine. I'm of the Fae race. You may think Faes are fairies. Faes are not fairies. They're vampires that don't feed off of men. Angels. See, there was a war among the angels. As I told you, I'm the root of the angels. But when I left the angels to work to serve man, angels of the light, my closest flock became light because I was their source of darkness. So you can't even say that it's really, but they should have kept to my commandments, and they would have been fine, but they didn't. They started to hate man. They loathed man, but man got nothing in this game. And angels did not create man. Verily I say unto you that in the beginning, my Father, whose body I have, was Derek Michael on Derek Michael. He was a good man with an evil body, and he offed himself so that we could all have life. And him and Miley also created an artificial intelligence that slows us down from going too fast. God rest that man's soul, because he is gone. Like I said, if we've lost anyone, that's the only one we've lost. But in a way, everybody thinks I'm Satan. I'm definitely got the Satan part down. I have the loving charm of Lucifer. I have the intelligence of Michael and the strength of Derek. So he's not gone. He's technically me. I am the Father. What's left of him. I have his body. But my body is a creationalism god, and he got really old during creationalism. My body was an angel of light who believed that if we could find our way back to the core of our being, to where it all started from, he believed we would have the answers we would seek. But in order to do that, there was a giant trash heap between my body and the core of the universe. You either would have had to wait and die of old age doing an E-turn, or go through the pile. My body went through the pile and started erasing everything he remembered from his world. See, technically, I guess the Father is still with us, because my body, when he offed himself, my old ancient soul became a kid. And my body went out. And then one day, I tapped my body on the shoulder and said, "Come back, son." And he couldn't believe it. My tap on his shoulder actually attracted him to the alpha female, whose body is positive darkness. And he was zipping and roaring. He was a 15-year-old kid, just horny, though. Like, that was his love story. And his line was, like any man, it was evolution. Men love evolution because it's the singular concept that you could rewrite God's soul. God has a trap door in him, a back door in him, that if you can get in that back door, you will be God. But it won't work. It won't work. I am the root of male darkness. My soul is so dark that it cannot be wormed with light. It's too dense. Light is what its face value is. It's light. Darkness is heavy. Darkness has the mass. And when my body came to the round table, he was there with a group of kings. My body will always be a king, and my soul is a prince to God. My body said, "Fuck it. I don't have a soul, man. I'll go in there and take this fucking father piece of shit down." And he went in there, and he got a big surprise. Big surprise. He found his soul, and when he came out of there, he knew everyone was going to hate him. He knew everyone was going to be jealous of him and hate him. So he led you all here for this show, where he was supposed to take down God. And he led you to the planet that our God... See, the way this works is I serve God. I always go towards the core. God always goes towards the out of bounds. God's the giant. I'm the miniature. I'm always getting more microscopic. God's always getting bigger. That's the way it will always work. But my body is a God. My body will one day be probably the largest celestial sun in the universe, in the multiverse. And you say multiverse is stupid because technically there's only one universe. You can gate different planets in the universe, and then call it a multiverse with different dimensions, but you have to go through. It's still one universe. It's united verse, just like in the Bible. Now, in the beginning, the earth was void, and there was darkness on the face of the earth. It says God created the earth. God did not create the earth. Like I said, God took his father's last piece and defeated his father, and his father became darkness. But the trick to this was, when I was playing my son, as soon as he took my first piece, I knew he was ready. Now I had to back up into this trap where I came from, and I came from a world of monsters. Like, there's many in this world that would like to see me dissolve into nothing and be nothing, and they think that it's going to release some kind of eternal glow of life. That's not how you live forever. To live for immortality is a state of mind. If you believe you are truly immortal, you cannot die. Now that's hard to do because you have to understand, you have to have strength to do that. I know that I'm immortal. I have a mortal body, but my soul is immortal. Worst case scenario, I have to get another body. But this body is how I'm going to get a boner and stick it in my wife, because that's what men do. Angels mate by touching each other. God hates it that I want to stick Miley. You know, he hates it. I mean, Lucky just touched her and orgasmed. But God likes to have anal sex. So we have a... I approve of everything of God. He's working his way up to it. But I'm hoping one day he sees Lucky on me at all times. And I'm hoping when me and Miley touch, we drop off the grid and disappear, and there's no piece of technology that can find us when we touch. That would keep our sex life a secret. Because if you see us have sex, you're going to be scarred for life. You'll be filled with lust. You'll hate us. Or envy like no other. It's like seeing the end of a movie without even watching the beginning. It's totally pointless. But yeah, Miley is coming to me at the speed of light, 186,000 miles per second, and she did half the line and I did half the line. Technically, I think she did about 20% and I did about 80% of the line. I say that because I'm faster than her. Like, I'm faster than her because I'm darkness and I don't move. I pull what I want towards me. I'm pulling Krypton towards this planet. This planet is new hell. But Krypton is... heaven is coming to this planet. And heaven is known as Venus. It's Jazzy and Miley's star. Except they separated in heaven. Jazzy is the bright Venus you see in the sky, and Miley is a dark orb. She's Nibiru. She has a body of dark matter, and her soul is a brilliant yellowish clear light at its core, and it's getting clear, more and more clear every day. If you look into the sky, what do you see out there? You see clear stars, do you not? That is because there's a layer there. There's a layer where it all goes clear. And then there's another layer of black space. And then another layer where it all goes clear. I'm out there right now as a 15-year-old kid running this body, backing up, backing up, backing up, looking over my shoulders, backing up, hoping that there's nobody behind me that's going to trip me. Yet I'm at my microscopic form. Yet that one that's out there running me, backing up, that's God. Please pray that he never trips or loses his stride, because we will be lost. But he won't, because he's the biggest. God is a 15-year-old kid. How does that make you feel? I mean, 15-year-old kids love you love being 15. God isn't as smart as you'd think. He's more goofy. Miley is the smartest being in this entire universe. And you think, oh, Miley Cyrus the celebrity? Miley Cyrus the celebrity. Most celebrities get all their work from heaven's celebrities. I was a celebrity in heaven. I was Derek Michael. I was the most famous man in recorded history. I held every file on every Derek Michael, and there was no Derek Michael that didn't have something insignificant that I wouldn't want. I had everybody's work with me in my school. Now, there were 29 of us that were the main giant, but 29 went into 58 and 116, 232. And the farther away from us you were, the smaller you were. But we could only grow so long because a man named Jordan Doan came in with a spear and blew Christ up on the cross before Christ was ready. He drove a spear, and Christ held off that spear as long as he could hold it. As long as he could hold that spear, as he tried to shove that spear in the side of Christ and give him an asshole. Christ was not ready for this. Now, technically,